when they feel a little bit too comfortable, that's when you need to sit and stop and think like, okay, maybe I'm oversharing too much. What's up, gang? It's your girl Amber Kashana back with another freaking video today. Woo, 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 woo. Welcome to Durag Diaries. Yep, there will be no more girl chat. So I know you guys are wondering, what is Durag Diaries? And technically these topics are going to be for everybody. So therefore, Durag Diaries will be something where everybody can relate to, a place where I will be giving you guys advice on situations where I have gone through myself and pretty much giving you guys the real life situations. If you guys are new here, my name is Amber Kashana. Thank you so much for coming to watch with me. Make sure that you guys subscribe down below and turn on those post notification bells so that you guys know every single time that I drop a new video. If you are not new here, thank you so much for coming back and joining the AK Army, because we are the best army. Anyway, as you guys can see from the topic, I am going to be talking about not letting your friends and family into your business. And when I say business, I just mean into your relationships, your personal relationship with your significant other. Guys, it is very important to remember these 4 points that I'm going to give you guys, because like I said earlier, I am not going to tell y'all nothing that I have not been through myself, okay? So let's get into the video. So the reason why I decided to talk about this topic is because a couple days ago I was watching my best friend's video on her friendship series, and I will link that down below. And something she said just made me be like, girl, like, you gotta talk about that on your channel, because oh my god. So y'all, today we're going to talk about not letting your friends and family into your relationships. I personally have had some drama with this, so I'm going to give y'all the real tea on that in just a second. Do not tell your friends and family everything, because that is going to bite you in the butt. 9 times out of 10, your family and friends are going to be the ones to hear you vent all the time. They're going to be there when you need a shoulder. They're going to hold resentment towards your significant other, and it can become a sticky situation for you yourself, because you feel like they shouldn't have a grudge against that person. But how can you blame them, because you're telling them everything that they've done to you? Here's a perfect example of what I mean. Back when I was in high school, yes, I know, high school, this is old, but whatever, this is a good example. Back when I was in high school, I was dating this guy, and we dated for a few years up until like my freshman or sophomore year of college. Well, I had a friend at the time that knew him as well. Like, we all went to school together for years, so we knew each other, and we was all like this. Well, she was my friend at the time. I remember a specific day when me and him were arguing, and this was like our senior year of high school. Me and him were arguing about something, and I remember when she told me that she got his number for whatever reason. And at the time, like, I didn't think nothing of it. I realized that maybe that wasn't a good thing, because next thing you know, he started calling her, telling her things about what me and him would go through. And yes, I more had a problem with him than her, but it became a problem between she and I when she would call me and be like, hey, he called me and said that you said this and y'all did that and da 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 da. And it was just like, wait a minute, how you know that? And she'll be like, oh, he called me. And then she will feel that she can come, you know, in and out of our, you know, relationship, and feel like she can add her 2 cents. For me, that was a problem, because I was just like, well, whatever we got going on should be between us, you know, and you shouldn't have no judgment about what's going on between us. Therefore, with all of that going on, her feeling like, you know, she can do certain things and say certain things to me about our arguments, I was just like, hold up, chick, like, this is not gonna work. It put me in an awkward position, and it ended up making her and I having disagreements because I was just like, wait a minute, like, where do you get off thinking you can tell me about what I'm seeing or what I'm doing in my relationship? You should never, ever, ever, ever make your friends and family feel like they're comfortable enough to put their 2 cents in your relationship. Do not get me wrong. It's okay to vent, but when you venting so much to where your friends feel like they can jump in, when they feel a little bit too comfortable, that's when you need to sit and stop and think like, okay, maybe I'm oversharing too much. So that brings me into my second point. Do not overshare, guys. Like I said, it's okay to vent, but I'm telling you, you have to keep in the back of your mind that, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't say this, because all it's going to do is have that person be like, oh, they did what? No, you lying. I'm telling you, in the back of their head, they're going to remember that small piece of information. They just go think real negatively of your relationship. Do not overshare. You can vent, but sometimes it is okay to call your homegirl, your homeboy, and be like, man, yeah, we just going through it. But leave it at that. You don't have to go into details. I promise you, you don't have to go into details. You could just be like, I don't even feel like talking about it right now. She just got me feeling some type of way. Like, you don't have to overdo it, because when you overshare and share too much information, that gives them the privilege. That gives them the power and the authority over your relationship. And that can make you as the individual feel like you are judged, be in a sticky situation with your friends and family, because they're going to be looking at your significant other as this horrible person. Point 3, whatever you share to your family, they can use it against you. Family never, ever forget. Friends don't either. But I feel like friends are a little bit more willing to forgive and forget because you decided to forgive or forget. Family, on the other hand, they're not that way. You cannot tell them everything, because when it's that time for you to say, okay, I forgive them and we're deciding to move forward, your family may not feel that way. They may bring up old things that's happened in the past. They may bring up things that you guys have decided to move past. And it's never a good situation when y'all having a good time and then all of a sudden something happens and your family's like, well, they did this and that. And then they start calling you out about it. They make you feel bad for your decisions. They pretty much don't move on. That's why you shouldn't tell them every little thing that happens in your relationship, because they're going to remember it and they probably are not going to move on from it as quickly as you do. And you never want your friends and family to use something that you have told them out of confidence between y'all relationship against you. And I'm not saying that them using it against you is right, because it's definitely not okay. But those are the things that happen when you give them the leeway to do that. You know what I'm saying? Lastly, take a moment to just breathe. I know when you get into an argument with your significant other, sometimes you just want to be like this, like, just get away from me, I need some space. But just take a moment to breathe. You don't have to pick up the phone every single time and be like, okay, this is what happened, and pretty much in the moment talking trash about the other person. I know all the time we don't realize we're doing that, but to the other person, that's pretty much how it's going to sound. It's going to sound like you're talking bad about them. It's okay to sometimes just take a breather, go for a walk. If you need to pour yourself a glass of wine or some liquor, whatever, just take a moment to just relax, think about it, and maybe, hopefully, you guys come together and talk about it. But when you decide that, okay, we got into an argument, let me go call my homegirl and be like, this Negro did this and that Negro did that, then what you think you're doing? Yeah, you're talking bad about them, and then that's putting it in your homegirl and homeboy's ear and being like, dang, like they got problems, man, like they can't seem to get it together. And you know, that's y'all business if y'all relationship is like that. But it's very misleading when you vent to your friends and family about something. That pretty much allows them to make up their own interpretation of what happened. Because 9 times out of 10, when you're angry, when you're upset, you're just fueling off of emotion. And of course, that's not to say that whatever happened wasn't as dramatic, but sometimes you dramatize something that isn't that serious. You know what I'm saying? It's like calling your mama as soon as you and your man get into it ain't the best thing all the time. It's okay to just be like, okay, you know what, we need some space, and you know, let's just take a breather and we'll come back together. It took me a long time to really learn that, and yes, my experience from high school definitely put the bug in my ear, but it took me years to really think about that, because it's just like, you know, that's not to offend anybody. It's just keeping people out your private life or out your business, because you don't want nobody to make you feel bad about the decisions that you choose to make and about the person that you're with. I have learned getting older that it is okay to not tell your family and friends everything, because honestly, the less that they know, the happier that they'll be. You know what I'm saying? Nobody can use nothing against you. Nobody has an issue, no nothing. So I hope that you guys really enjoyed this Durag Diaries. I hope that you guys enjoyed this, because it's something relatable, and I feel like everyone has probably gone through this scenario at least once in their life. If you guys would like to give me some topics to discuss in Durag Diaries, please put them down below. I would love to talk about anything that you guys want to hear about. Durag's Diary is meant to be inclusive, meant to be advice and experiences that I went through myself. But I hope that you guys have learned something from this video, because hey, if anybody has went through stuff and learned from their past relationships, it is me, okay? So without further ado, I'm gonna get out of here. See you guys soon on the next Durag's Diary. Bye.